guy came up to me the other night, right? And he was like, who's your favorite artist? And like most people do when they ask you a question, he didn't really care about my answer and proceeded to tell me what he thought the true answer was. And he continued about his struggle to recognize who he said was the greatest of all time. He said, is it Shakespeare, Frost, Picasso, Michelangelo? Is it the Beatles, Rembrandt, Michael Jackson, Beethoven? And he went on and on and on about who he thought was the greatest, not even realizing that his infrastructure to answer that question, it was misled and outdated. So finally, I kindly smiled and said, okay, sir, you've asked me who is the greatest of all time, and now you've tried to share yours. So let me share mine, because there's no debate about who is the greatest, because all those other artists you mentioned, yeah, the greatest made them. See, this artist, he's a beast, a lion, the name above names. You don't even realize it, but you encounter his art every day, and he deserves all the acclaim, and he deserves all the fame, because all those other artists pass away, and he remains. Oh, by the way, his name is God, Yahweh, Creator, your Maker. He's infinitely creative, sir. There is no one greater. And I can tell it looks like you're starting to get mad at me, but don't be jealous just because your favorite artist might bend words, and my favorite artist bends galaxies. Yeah, see, in the palm of his hand, he holds all the sand. The author of life, when he whispered, let us make man. What if I told you that you are God's poetry? You were created because someone else was creative. See, long ago, he picked up his eternal paintbrush, dipped it in his glory, placed us in his story, and said, they will live for me. And I know it sounds outlandish, but we're not the product of random chances. In fact, we're not even the vine. We're actually the branches. In the same way, we're not the artist. We're actually the canvas. So stop saying that you're dirt. Stop saying you're scum of the earth. You ought to be careful about how you talk about someone else's work. Because if we truthfully believe that we were made in his likeness, we would stop saying that we're wretched, filthy, shameful, guilty, but instead knowing if we trusted in Jesus, we're righteous. And see, all I'm trying to say is that God is behind it all. So why do we insist on giving him no credit at all? But I'll end with this here. You know that quote about giving credit where credit is due? Well, if that's true, it's about time we give God his rightful credit too. And he is a God in the business of making all things new. And here's the truth. He's not through with making a masterpiece out of you.